Swami Chidananda and V. Ganesan. In the 1960s, great efforts were made to get devotees to visit Sri Ramanasramam, but without much success. At that time, N.S. Rao, the owner of a big firm in Chennai, arrived with his devout wife, Vatsala. I attended on them with special care. During our conversations, I came to know that Mrs. Rao's brother was a Swami in the Shivananda ashram at Rishikesh. That was the time when only the names of Swami Shivananda, Swami Ramdas, Swami Nityananda were well known in spiritual circles. On inquiring, Mrs. Rao told me that her brother's name was Swami Chidananda. I listened with closed eyes and strangely felt an inner thrill. A few years later, when we successfully completed the construction of Sri Bhagavan Samadhi Shrine, the ashram management was advised by the traditional Vedic pundits that at least 2 realized souls, yanis or siddha purushas, should be invited. Their presence, the pundits insisted, would enrich the power of the rituals. When I was consulted, I had no hesitation in suggesting 2 names, Janaki Mata of Tanjore and Swami Chidananda, president of Shivananda Ashram Rishikesh. Though I had known Janaki Mata from my childhood, it was my mother who insisted that she be invited. Likewise, the then ashram trustee, K. Padmanabhan, fully supported my suggesting the name Swami Chidananda. By that time, I had heard that Swami Chidananda was a Jivan Mukta, from advanced sadhakas and visiting Mahatmas. Especially Swami Chidananda's adoration of Sri Bhagavan gave me immense happiness. He said of Sri Bhagavan, Bhagavan Ramana was an embodiment of jnana. He was available to the devotees 24 hours of the day, but his silence was impenetrable. No one could transgress the border and take advantage of his availability. Even if most famous and important celebrities were to come and sit in his presence, the Maharshi would go out of his daily work or walk in the kitchen as if he was totally unaware of their presence. This divine indifference was born out of his freedom. In one moment of illumination, Sri Ramana Maharshi became established in I am. I am neither mind nor body, immortal self am I. I have neither time nor space, I was never born. In one split second, one moment, he was just an ordinary student, and the next moment he was awakened into a state of total freedom, a spiritual perfection, as clarified and declared in the Bhagavad Gita, where it states, fire cannot burn you, water cannot wet you, weapons cannot injure you, wind cannot dry you. You are unborn, permanent, eternal, beyond time. Death is nothing to you. And he became established once and forever in that experience, and he never budged from that state. All his life, no matter what was going on around him, it did not touch him. It did not affect him. Every true devotee of Sri Ramana Maharshi observes the royal path to think, meditate, and reflect upon the Vichara Marga, self-inquiry of who am I. When Swami Chidananda arrived in 1967, I took keen interest in making his stay comfortable and attending to his personal needs. He was especially kind to me. He was the most humble sannyasin I had ever come across, after the unassuming and inimitable sannyasin of Anandashram, Swami Satchidananda. Swami Chidananda was full of humor. The very first night, I took him to the room allotted to him and his attendant. I had already seen it that his bed was fixed with a mosquito net. On seeing it, Swamiji gave a smile and told his assistant, "Remember, all objects in the world are holy. Whatever you see or touch are holy. However, one thing should never be holy, because then it cannot be used. Can you tell me what it is?" The assistant and I looked at each other in puzzlement. And Swamiji himself broke the silence with the words, "A mosquito net should never be holy. It should not have holes." We all laughed together. Swamiji pleaded with me to narrate whatever incidents I knew about his Gurudev, Swami Shivananda's visit to Sri Bhagavan in the 1920s. Kunju Swami and Vishwanatha Swami had earlier conveyed to me about that eventful visit of Swami Shivananda, and I was only too happy to recount its details. It went like this. Swami Shivananda was a gigantic figure, and he would stand outside the door of the hall in which Sri Bhagavan was seated. He would then touch the feet of any devotee who came out after prostrating to Sri Bhagavan. And with joy, Swami Shivananda used to express that even to touch the feet of those who have had the great good fortune of prostrating to Sri Bhagavan was by far a true spiritual blessing. Shivananda was residing in the town of Tiruvannamalai, and every day Swami would himself cook a North Indian meal, bring it to the ashram by bullock cart, and personally serve it to Sri Bhagavan. He would explain each dish to Sri Bhagavan. Swami's contention was that since Sri Bhagavan would not travel to North India, Sri Bhagavan should at least taste the characteristic dishes of the Punjab, the Gujarat, the Maharashtra, Bengal, and other North Indian states. Swami also observed that in Sri Bhagavan's presence, devotees sang devotional songs in almost all the Indian languages, but not in English. So he would compose extemporary English verses in praise of Sri Bhagavan and sing in Sri Bhagavan's presence in his sonorous voice. Sri Bhagavan appreciated them and also accepted them in his all-consuming silence. The Kumbha Bhikshukam celebrations took place from 14th June to 18th June 1967. On the night of culmination of all rituals, Swami Chidananda was the only person permitted inside the cordon of purely Vedic priests. Swamiji insisted that I also sit by his side. The puja and arati, the waving of lights to the consecrated shrine of Ramaneshwara Mahalinga, was the fitting finale. Swamiji appealed to me with intense humility and devotion and said, "Ganesan, will you please do me a great favor? I want a few sacred flowers to be taken directly from Sri Bhagavan's Shrine of Grace and given to me. I will preserve them with me with the greatest reverence all my life, for I am fully aware of the sacredness of their power to protect and guide me wherever I am." When I handed over the flowers to Swamiji, he gave me an embrace of blessings. I remember with happiness and reverence that encounter, even today.